Thank you to all my lovely supporters on Patreon. To hear all the music I make for my channel and covers I do, go to the link in the description to sign up for my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Christian Hanna here. Today, guys, I want to talk to you about Stephen King's Graveyard Shift. Now, I did a vote last night to see which movie you guys want me to review, this or Near Dark, which we'll talk about Near Dark probably next, but today's Graveyard Shift. Now, this is the new Scream Factory Blu-ray. Of course, I'll talk about this release, but I got to talk about this movie because I'm just ready to talk about this movie. The Graveyard Shift, in a small synopsis, you've got this guy. He's a blue-collar guy, hard-working guy, and he's coming to this small town. He's looking for a job. He goes to this big warehouse, and he talks to this manager who is a real scumbag. This guy just abuses people, uses people, has no regard for anybody, but decides to hire him and makes him work, you named it, the Graveyard Shift. And he finds that this place he's working at is horribly infested with rats. I wouldn't even call it an infestation. They own the place. I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of rats, and there's no stopping them. What I liked about this movie was it's supposed to be this blue-collar feel, and it's supposed to be just this hard-working area, just like simple, hard-working people. And that's where I'm from, and that's what I do. In case you guys don't know, I put on a hard hat to go to work. I go to a warehouse, I punch in, I punch out, I do my job, I come home. You know, a lot of the blue-collar type, they do a lot of these things that you see in this movie. They talk freely, they cuss a lot, they smoke, they drink, they dip, they do it all. That's just kind of how we are. Like, I don't do that because I'm a runner, so I try not to, dip or smoke, but that's how we are. I thought this movie actually captured that essence pretty well. Now, I have to mention, probably the greatest performance in this movie is the Exterminator, played by Brad Dourif. He elevates the film. You know, our lead actor in this movie is good. He's this focused, driven guy looking to, maybe he made some bad mistakes before, and he's looking to just better his life and get a job and keep things moving. But he's very subdued. He's very focused. He doesn't exude much on screen. He's just playing a good performance. But Brad Dourif carries the first two-thirds of this movie with his eccentric yet amazing performance as the Exterminator. I mean, he could have his own spin-off movie. There very well could be a movie called The Exterminator that Brad Dourif's character was, and I would break the door down to go see it because he was amazing in it. I really liked Brad Dourif in this film. I thought he was really good. I mean, of course, when is he not good? But he just elevates the film. And I just really enjoyed this movie. One thing I've got to mention that was interesting was every time a soda can appears in the film, they make sure they hard focus in on Diet Pepsi, which I'm a Diet Pepsi guy, so that was cool. But there had to have been some kind of deal made where it was like, okay, so Pepsi's like, okay, guys, if you want to use our drinks, make sure that the can, you can see it well and people know it's Diet Pepsi. So anytime you see a soda pop in the film, you clearly see it's a Diet Pepsi, which I thought was funny. But I liked this movie a lot. I mean, it feels very unique. The only way I can describe it, and I may be going out on a limb calling it this, but it's true the way I feel. Stephen King is a crossover guy, right? You know, horror fans, we love a lot of Stephen King films, but non-horror people still watch Stephen King movies because it's Stephen King. He's just like everybody knows him. Graveyard Shift feels like the horror fans' Stephen King film because it has this real Empire Pictures quality to it because of the last couple acts and the nasty animatronic monster, which I'll keep that spoiler free, but based on what I've told you, you could probably figure out what it is. But I loved it. The scenery, when they end up getting under the floor of this warehouse and see where all these rats are coming from, it's bones everywhere. It feels very classic, blockbuster horror, or really family rental horror, whatever video stores were out before Blockbuster. That's what it feels like. Renting a movie like this would be something that would be awesome back in the day because it would just feel so genuine. And I just really liked Graveyard Shift a lot. I thought it was a really fun experience. I thought it was great revisiting this film, and I liked it even more on the second watch than on the first watch. I can clearly see myself popping this in at a moment's notice. I could watch it right now as soon as this video is done because it was good. It was very enjoyable. The soundtrack was great. There was a great song at the end. The Graveyard Shift song was great. I really have no complaints with Graveyard Shift. It feels different, which is nice. A lot of these Stephen King films, there's a thread line feeling. I can always tell when it's a Stephen King film, or like I just know, like once it starts, I feel it. Everything feels very Stephen King. Graveyard Shift just has a different feel to it. It feels very Empire Pictures 80s horror, which I just love that. So I can clearly revisit this at a moment's notice. Very fun, very different. No complaints. I give the film a solid 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Now, as far as this Blu-ray goes, the picture quality was really good. I mean, it looked probably the best it can look. The special features were amazing. I mean, all the interviews that they got guys that were involved in the preceding making ofs, and they talked about where they needed to make the film, how it came up. They talked about how they got Brad Dourif to be in the film. They talked about a lot of really interesting, fun stuff besides just, yeah, we got along on set. Like, they actually talked about the making, the true making of how it formed, how it happened, what company. So, great special features, great interviews with the cast and crew on this movie. I really recommend this Blu-ray. If you're only a person that picks up 1 or 2 a year, safe bet would be Graveyard Shift is a solid pickup for you. So I definitely recommend it. So that's it, guys. Graveyard Shift. I loved that movie. I can't wait to revisit it again. It feels different. And quite honestly, I'd probably put it over a lot of Stephen King movies if I was going to rank them. So I'm down with the Graveyard Shift. I love it. Let me know what you guys think about the film. Let me know if you've seen the film before. What were your thoughts? If it's been a while, if you plan on revisiting it, and let me know if this video entices you to want to check the movie out. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. This is Christian Hanna Horror saying, be safe out there.